August 1590.
A man returns to his colony after 3 years. What he finds is nothing. 115 men, women, and children. Gone. No bodies, no battle, no graves. The houses were dismantled. The fort was empty. Only 2 clues were left carved into wood: CRO and CROATOAN. This is America's first cold case, and 435 years later, we still don't know where they went. This is the story of the Lost Colony of Roanoke, the greatest unsolved disappearance in American history. In 1587, 115 English settlers landed on Roanoke Island off the coast of modern-day North Carolina. Their governor was John White. Among them was Virginia Dare, the first English child born in America. She was John White's own granddaughter. But their supplies ran dangerously low, so John White made the hardest decision of his life. He sailed back to England for help. He promised his family and his colony he would return in a few months. But war with Spain broke out. His return was delayed for 3 years. When he finally sailed back on August 18, 1590, the entire colony had vanished. White's men searched the island frantically. What they found was deeply unsettling. The houses had been carefully taken apart. The fort's palisade walls were gone. But there was no sign of a struggle. No human remains. No burnt buildings. It looked as if the colonists had simply packed up and left. But where? And why? Before he left, White had agreed on a secret signal with the colonists. He told them, "If you are forced to leave and you are in danger, carve a Maltese cross into a tree." There was no cross. Instead, they found CRO carved into a tree near the fort, and the full word, CROATOAN, carved into a wooden post of the palisade. CROATOAN was the name of a friendly Native American tribe living 50 miles south on what is now Hatteras Island. It was also the name of the island itself. White desperately wanted to sail there, but a massive storm struck. His ship was damaged and nearly sank. He was forced to return to England. He never made it to CROATOAN. He never saw his daughter, his son-in-law, or his granddaughter Virginia again. Fact 1. The colony was not a military outpost. It included 17 women and 11 children. These were families intending to build a permanent home. Why would families abandon a fortified, defensive position? Fact 2. The word CROATOAN was not carved hastily. The letters were clear, deep, and deliberate. Historians believe this indicates the colonists had time to leave a message. This was not a panicked escape. Fact 3. The absence of a Maltese cross is critical. According to the prearranged signal, no cross meant no distress. This strongly suggests the departure was voluntary, not forced by an attack. Fact 4. In 1998, archaeologists excavating on Hatteras Island found a 16th century English signet ring. It featured a lion crest, the same type worn by gentlemen colonists. Did some survivors actually reach CROATOAN? Fact 5. In 1701, explorers recorded that the Hatteras Indians, descendants of the CROATOAN tribe, claimed their ancestors had white people living among them generations earlier. Some tribal members reportedly had gray eyes. Fact 6. A map from 1608, drawn by settlers at Jamestown, labels the area south of Roanoke as CROATOAN. It includes a notation: 4 men clothed that came from Roanoke. Could these have been Roanoke survivors? Fact 7. Recent excavations at Site X, a location 50 miles inland, have uncovered Elizabethan pottery, pieces of a rapier, and English glass beads. These are artifacts the colonists possessed. Did a group split off and move inland? Fact 8. The Dare stones appeared in 1937. 48 stones were found, claiming to tell the story of Eleanor Dare, Virginia's mother. Most have been proven to be hoaxes. However, the first stone discovered is still debated by some researchers. Fact 9. The drought theory. Tree ring data confirms that 1587 to 1589 was the worst drought in the region in 800 years. Crops would have failed completely. Did starvation force them to leave and seek food with friendly tribes? Fact 10. The Spanish attack theory. Spain wanted England out of North America, but no Spanish military records mention an attack on Roanoke, and archaeologists have found no evidence of a battle. No weapons, no cannonballs, no mass graves. Fact 11. The sailing home theory. Some believe they tried to sail back to England in their small, unseaworthy pinnace. But no wreckage from that era has ever been identified. Crossing the Atlantic in that vessel would have been nearly impossible. Fact 12. Virginia Dare became a legend. If she survived, she would have been 3 years old when her grandfather returned. For 3 centuries, locals told stories of a white doe seen on Hatteras Island, said to be her spirit. Fact 13. John White searched for his family for the rest of his life. He died in 1593, never knowing their fate. In his final known letters, he wrote that, "My soul doth bleed for his lost colony." Fact 14. In 2015, DNA analysis was conducted on families from Hatteras Island with long local ancestry. Some results showed trace markers consistent with 16th century English DNA. Does this prove the colonists assimilated into the tribe? Fact 15. Today, Roanoke Island is a National Historic Site. Every summer, the outdoor drama The Lost Colony is performed. But the core mystery remains. 115 people walked into history and never walked out. So what really happened to the lost colony? Let's examine the 3 main theories that historians consider most credible. 1. Assimilation with the CROATOAN tribe. The carving, the signet ring, the 1701 reports, the DNA traces, and the 4 men clothed map note all point toward this conclusion. It is the most widely accepted theory. But if they integrated, why did no clear written record or European technology survive in the tribe? 2. The split groups theory. Perhaps the colony divided. One group went south to CROATOAN. Another moved inland to Site X. A third may have attempted to sail home. Disaster could have struck each group separately. This would explain why artifacts have been found in multiple locations. 3. Massacre by a hostile tribe. The CROATOAN tribe in the region was hostile to the English. However, there are no bodies, no burnt structures, and no weapons left behind. And it does not explain why the colonists would take the time to carve CROATOAN if they were under attack. Officially, the National Park Service states the colonists likely assimilated with Native American communities. But without a body, a definitive letter, or archaeological proof, we cannot say with 100% certainty. 435 years later, the Lost Colony of Roanoke remains America's oldest unsolved mystery. 115 people vanished and left behind a single word: CROATOAN. Was it a destination, an invitation, a warning? What do you think happened? Did they find a new home with the CROATOAN tribe? Let me know your theory in the comments.